Oh, so this is Bryce back at it with another video. So the name of the game is consistency. You can't quit your job without consistency. You can't run a nice practice without consistency. You can't get your business off the ground without consistency. However, most people can't do it. They finally have broken through to that plane where they're getting 3 to 6 clients, but they can't get it. Their income goes up and then down and then up and down, and there's a lot of swings. Everything is very stressful when you're in the valley. It's cool for a little while, but then it always goes inevitably back down to that valley. So today we're going to start working on exactly how you can start getting more consistency. So the name of this video is how to go from 3 to 6 clients inconsistently to complete control and stability in business and life. So who is this for? We made this video for people because we were receiving interest in our premier advertising program from life coaches who get up to 3 to 6 clients but can't keep them longer than 3 to 6 months. They get overwhelmed with client work and stop bringing in new business. Also, they can't seem to get clients to stay after they complete their first 3-month program. So this video is designed to get you consistency in your business results, reduce stress, consistently bring in new business, and reduce the amount of moving pieces in your business. So who can benefit? This will really benefit coaches who sell packages. The package must be more than $1,000. Also, coaches who have over 3 high-ticket clients. Also, next, it will help coaches who want consistency and outreach without adding more work. And finally, coaches who want to leverage their time more effectively. Step one, what do you have to do? You have to commit. You need to promise yourself that you will do whatever it takes to get past this. The steps in the video are not about doing more work. They're about expanding your thinking. And unless you expand your thinking, you can't get consistency. Step two, you need to release fear. Oftentimes you get caught in the stage because of fear. What is the fear? Some fears that I was experiencing when I was in that stage was fear of raising prices. If I raise my price, will people still buy from me? Next, the fear of getting lucky. How did I know I didn't just get lucky when I sold them? Yeah, I have 3 to 6 clients, but maybe I'm just getting lucky. Each time I do my sales presentation, my sales pitch, it's always a little bit different and it's not very consistent. So how do I know that I'm not just getting lucky each time? Next, the fear of failure. Will the money stop? Should I conserve all my money? Can I do anything? Can I hire staff? Can I advertise? What do I do? I have to put it all in the bank account. How do I make sure the money won't stop? And what do I do if it does stop? And then finally, the fear of success. Can I handle more clients? So generally, you're already working hard. You only have 3 to 6 clients, but the way that you're structuring your offer and structuring your program is really time intensive, and you're not leveraging your time properly. So your workload is very, very, very high, and you really can't handle more than maybe 6 to 7 clients at once. Next, so how to release the fear. What did I do to push past my version of these fears? So everybody has a little bit different versions of these fears and kind of what caused them. There's more versions. This is just what happened to me and kind of what I did to get around it. So one, for raising prices, the fear of raising prices, do it anyway. That's literally it. You can go in increments of $500, increments of $250. Every time you get a new client, you can raise your price by $500 until you get to the level that either you like or people stop going or stop purchasing it at your regular conversion rate. So if you go 1 out of 5, you keep raising the price every sale until you stop making sales every 5th call. Okay, next, to get the fear of getting lucky. So I started using more numbers and tracking my data even more effectively than what I was previously. We'll talk a little bit more about that towards the middle of the video. Next, the fear of failure. If we're going to go down, let's go down firing. Bryce does not contract. That is my number one mantra. Bryce does not contract if the money in the bank account gets low. Bryce does not contract if the cash flow starts to go smaller. We're going to fire if we have to go and get a 9 to 5, we have to go get a couple side businesses because we run out of money. So be it. But at least I know that I did everything that I possibly could to make this thing work. Next, for the fear of success, you have to adjust your program offerings in a way that allows you to get more throughput. So allowing you to get more clients and be able to handle them more effectively and give even better value than if you were doing a one-on-one coaching model. Step 3, so you got to start tracking your organic outreach. So let's say your goal is to get 3 new clients per month consistently. How many consultation calls do you need to do to get a client? Do you know that? How many messages do you have to send to get a consultation call? How many potential targets do you need to locate? So how many LinkedIn connections do you have to send? How many Facebook friends do you need? How many email addresses do you need to find in order to get 3 clients? Or even to get a phone call, not even 3 clients, to get a phone call. Have you ever tracked that before? You'll be surprised that if you say the answer is no, you are not alone. The vast majority of new business owners or business owners who have been going for under 4 years or any length of time do not actually track their data, so they have no idea what it takes to get success. So before you move forward, you need to know your numbers. In order to get help, you need to fully understand your current business. So you can measure the stats using Google Sheets. Here is a provided Google tracking sheet that we give our clients. This is for you just as a thank you for watching this video and as a thank you for taking the time out of your life to try and improve your business and get more consistency. So we actually have a couple more resources in this video. So if you stay towards the end, you will get more of them and get the full benefit of this video. So now, step 3.5. If you have never tracked your messages or outreaches before, here's how you do it. So a test is when you send a message at least 100 times and record the stats. After you've sent one message 100 times, you can test a new message. Once you have tested the 2 messages, take note of which message had a better response rate. And then you send the winner of the 2 1,000 more times or as many times as you want. And then when you feel like it, you can run another test. So you take the one that won the first time, you compare it to a new message. You send them both, or you send the new message 100 times and see what the percentage is, and then you choose the winner. Whichever one wins and does better, you send that one 1,000 more times, and you just keep repeating until your percentages either get better or you just get as many clients as you need, and you just don't need to improve it. It really depends. Don't just improve things for the sake of improving. You need to know your numbers. So that I would go back and I would download that tracking sheet just to make sure that you're ready to move forward. Step 4, how much time can you spend on this? In business, you can either spend your time or you can spend your money. If you're already overwhelmed by your coaching client load, then you may not be able to do this alone. So you have 3 options that you can do. 1, you can brave through it. You can brave it alone, go out alone, be a solopreneur, and really try and go. There's no shame in that. There's a lot of people who really push through and get it to where they can do it by themselves. If you follow through the video, you'll see some more things that can either show you how to get around this and how to be able to get more throughput if you're going by yourself. Next, you can use semi-automatic outreach. So there are different tools and different things that you can do to enhance your outreach. Number 3, what you can do is you can get help. So, SemiAuto Outreach Part 1. The reason why you tracked your messages before is because you needed to have benchmarks. You have to know where you are and what an acceptable amount of success is. So what if you were to, in my business, I have a tool that I use to automatically send connection requests on LinkedIn. I have to build the list and I plug it into the tool, and the tool will send it based on whoever I said to send it to. It's based on a list of criteria that I create. Every person's business is slightly different just depending on your target market and who you generally go after when you're trying to build relationships. After the data is plugged in and the names and email or the LinkedIn accounts are put in, the tool then does the connections for me. Semi-auto outreach part 2. For that same tool, you can choose to send the intro message for you, which opens up a conversation. Once the conversation is opened up, then you manually talk to the prospects. So I would not really recommend a fully automatic tool where you're never involved with it, because it sort of breaks down over time. You need to just have it be able to start the conversation. So automation really works well when it gets people going, and then you can start just, okay, cool. So this person is interested in learning a little bit more. Now I can spend my time talking to that person and kind of building a better relationship. So that you're not really trying to send out 100 connection messages each day and then start 100 new conversations and then to follow up with 100 new conversations from yesterday. That gets very hectic very quickly, and it kind of dissuades you from wanting to do that every single day. So it also eliminates a lot of waste to have the robot open up the conversation, as not everyone who you send a connection request to will want to speak. And also allows you to build relationships more efficiently and more effectively. Since your robot is automatically filtering out people who don't want to talk to you, if you send it to, say, 50 and it goes and finds that 30 of those people didn't want to talk to you, okay, cool. So now you've narrowed it down to 20 people who want to talk, and you continue to build that relationship to see whether or not they are in need of your service. I've got some semi-automatic tools. So first things first, if you are using LinkedIn, I would recommend getting Sales Nav. It's about $79 per month, and it makes building these lists extremely efficient. You can choose based on a set of criteria exactly who you can connect with on LinkedIn. I have provided a link below that talks about how to use Sales Nav to build marketing lists. A lot of people won't do it because they're like, it's $79 a month or something, while Facebook is free. It's social media, it's supposed to be free. Okay, cool. Do it. Whatever. But as you may find, once you start trying to get a certain number of LinkedIn searches per month, LinkedIn starts to hide profiles. And that number is unknown. I can't remember exactly what it was. We counted it one time. We opened up a new account, but I don't have it written down right in front of me for this note. The LinkedIn management tool that I use is called Linked Helper. I'm not an affiliate for this, so I don't get any kind of payment. Um, at the moment, I may become an affiliate soon. So by the time you see this video, I may be an affiliate. I don't know exactly. As of July 19th, 2019, I am not an affiliate, but as of the future, I may be. So, step 5, you need to get some help if you want. So, you can decide to outsource tasks you don't like to staff members. So, this is often the hardest step for business owners. So, remember when I talked about in the beginning, it's not just about adding work or taking away work, it's about changing your thinking. A lot of entrepreneurs do not want to have people help them out, they want to go at it alone. They want to just be them, their dog, and their basement. For a long time, I wanted to do everything myself. But once I kind of said, once I tried it, I never looked back. I immediately went from one staff member to about 7 in the span of 3 months, just because it was just so much easier to really get things moving and just so liberating. So one reason why people don't want to do that is because they don't want to have to give up control. However, that is a fallacy. Just because you hire someone does not mean you're giving up control. It actually allows you to have more control because you can kind of manage the chessboard a little bit easier, and you can look at things at a distance to be able to see what's coming before anybody else can. So there's an argument that it can actually give you more control of your business because it forces you to take a different vantage point. Oftentimes, you can get a part-time person to do the tasks that you hate. So it does not have to be expensive, depending on it. Depending on your outlook, I mean, when we start talking about these different tools and getting to the next level, you really have to take an inventory of what your goals are. Expenses are not a bad thing. Business expenses are not a bad thing. So more as far as operating expenses like advertising, staff, tools, those are the big three operating expenses for a coach. Those are not a bad thing if it helps you reach your business goal. If your goal is only $10,000 per month consistently, you may not need to hire 5 staff members. You may not need to spend $1 million in advertisement. But if your goal is like mine, to make 10 million in 7 years, it really changes the trajectory of the steps that you take. So for me, I have to spend a lot more in ads. I have to get more staff helping me out. I have to be able to get people managing the phones, to get people doing my direct outreach, to get people editing my video. So it just really depends on your goals, how much help that you get. So getting some help continued. I hate direct outreach. It's just so consistent and so tedious. It's like it takes a lot of effort for me, and I have to constantly do it. So when my workload gets a little bit more hectic, that becomes one of the things that falls off the most for me as far as messaging. Because as I said before, I have that tool that is automatically sending the connection request and sending the initial message, but following up is just a pain sometimes. And plus, we're getting about I like to say we're getting about 40 to 50 new people every single day that are connecting with me. And it's just like that's hectic to have to do it myself. So what I did is I handed off to my assistants. They do it for me. I've taught them how to speak to candidates, how to speak to different people, kind of the messaging, what to expect, the different workflows of what they have to do to make sure that all of the people are being spoken to, all the people, I'm answering all their questions. So these people are known as virtual assistants since they work remotely. So a virtual assistant can be an admin, they can be an assistant, they can do almost any task since every single individual has a different skill set. So they're basically just like an American, only they're just located in a different country. A lot of people think that if they're in a different country, that means that they're not as good as as if it was a local person. However, I'd like to make the argument that they're actually better. And some of the tasks that we've done, they actually outperform me because they need the money a lot more than what we do, and they respect the value of money a lot more than some workers do. That's not to say everybody is more efficient than what we are over here. It's just on a person by person basis. Some people are more effective than other people. One versus one. It's not like one place is better than the other one. So, for example, people from India are not necessarily better than people from the United States. People from the Philippines are not better than people from India. People from the Philippines are not better than people from China. It just really depends on the individuals you hire and the steps that you have to take to go find them, which I generally find my virtual assistants on a website called onlinejobs.ph. I am an affiliate for this. So the reason why I like to find people in the Philippines is because the exchange rate is extremely favorable right now. So at three to $5 an hour, you're putting these people in one of the highest tax brackets for their country. Oftentimes, a well-paying job is paying them $2 per hour. So if you're paying them $4, you're actually paying them way better than what they can most likely get in their country. We have a program called Vertical Domination, and it goes a little bit into more detail about specifically how to find people, how to vet people, how to give them training, how to show them exactly what to do, and how to make workflows. This is just one of the aspects that is in our program called Vertical Domination. It's more of a boot camp style training where we're working in a group with you to help you get more consistency in your business. So next, step number 6, you got to systematize. So what does that mean? That means no more done for you or one-on-one unless it's a special occasion. I sometimes take on done for you / one-on-one clients, but it's really more for like special occasions or if the person really needs that style of help. And I think that's the one that's going to get them the best results. So what do you do instead? You can do some group coaching. You can make a course, or you can make more video training / coaching session interactive training. So it's more of a hybrid between a program and a boot camp versus a course. So another thing you can do is you can start creating information assets like facts, info videos, Facebook groups where your assistants can answer the questions, Facebook live Q&As instead of weekly one-on-one calls. Those are just some things that we're starting to implement a little bit more as far as the Facebook live Q&As, because I do still like to get on the phones with my students, even for just an hour per week. That's one of the things that we're trying to move away from, but I still really enjoy it, so I'm kind of fighting that change. But of course, I'm still growing and I'm still going to move towards that eventually. Next, you have to get some more attraction marketing. So you're building authority. You need to start focusing on long-term, evergreen forms of marketing. For example, blog posts. These are like auto consultation call generators. So they just sit there, they show off your expertise, they show exactly what you write. They can connect with people really, really well. Some people like reading long text, some people like reading short text, some people like reading, period. and they just help you build your authority and kind of give more value and help people decide, hey, maybe this guy knows exactly what he's talking about. Why don't I reach out to this person and let's schedule a call, and why don't I just start working with this person? Obviously, he knows something I don't. Next thing is an ebook. So this is an authority slash info tool and really helps you kind of separate yourself from the market, especially if you do a good job during it. A lot of ebooks nowadays are basically just selling your program, selling the person's various program. It's just a bunch of sales pitches all in one. Not a lot of value is given because either they're free or because they're very low cost. My new ebook that's coming out in the next 3 weeks is actually something that's more value packed. It's going to be able to really separate me from the rest of the market and really show why I am the best coach to work for people who want to either get consistency in their business or who are just starting out. So those are the two markets that we really work with. The next thing is video blogs. So I'm calling this the 3K test and blast. So what I mean by that is for 30 days straight, we like to post one live video on Facebook every single day. We have a list of topics that we're going to be talking about in these Facebook Live videos. And we're just kind of trying to test the market to see exactly what people are responding to. And then after we have tested that, we're going to look at our engagement to see exactly which videos were doing the best. And then we are going to do engagement advertisements on Facebook for those winning videos. And we're just going to build our audience like game busters. The reason why I call it 3K is because I want 3,000 people to be watching my videos on average as far as the live videos. So that's how you get there. You do 30 days times $100 or 100 views per video, and then you just explode. And that's really how you go. Test 3K test and blast. Next, income automation part 1. So one way to do this is to add a secondary offer that can be sold without a consultation. Some people call these entry level offers. Some people call these I forgot what the other word for it is. For example, in my business, we have something called a Kickstarter course, which is for coaches who want to get their first 2 to 3 clients. It offers everything that they need at a price that feels safe to them. When I say safe to them, it means they're not going to necessarily feel bad or they're not going to feel like it's that big of a risk. So if they don't get what they want out of it, they're not going to be financially devastated. Versus if they were to just call me on the phone, they don't exactly know whether or not my methods work for them. It's a great way for them to test exactly what I do and how I can show them that I give them better results than 90% of the market. Because the course should be a $3,000 course, but I have a better one that's for people like you or at the 3 to 6 client level that I prefer to run as more of like my premier course to help you guys get past that. So I have this Kickstarter course for $500 just to make sure that everybody gets a chance to get in and gets to know my face. So people usually purchase these courses at a low point. They hit a wall in their business and then they remember seeing the offer. So they remember going to your website, seeing your videos, seeing your content. They go, I think this video talked exactly about what I was experiencing right now. Maybe I should get this and it'll solve my problems. Then they go and buy it, and they do. Notice how Bryce never had to talk to that person. And it's always they make the decision themselves, which is always the best form of sales and marketing. When the person makes the decision to go for it yourself. You didn't have to talk to them. You didn't have to convince them. They convinced themselves because they knew it was the right option for them. So this Kickstarter program costs about $500 as of right now. It may go up in the future. It just really depends. So income automation part 2. So another reason why this is very important is because it gives results to clients before they fully work with you. So these auxiliary offers are not really time intensive because they're more automated courses. They don't get the full benefit of being able to work with you as a regular client would be, but the results that we're promising in the Kickstarter course are results that are actually true. So they can do it without actually using my voice or actually interacting with me. The course has just enough to do that. You can also have like Facebook groups like we were talking about before. So the reason why it's important for them to get results before they do your premier course is because it softens them up for upsells. They know that Bryce delivers results, and you won't have this question on the phone. How do I know it's going to work? What's my guarantee? How do I know that it's going to work for my business? I know you have all these different reviews and all these different people and all these different testimonials, but how do I know it's going to work for me? And that is a very reasonable thing for them to ask. It is very reasonable. How you want to make sure that you're getting your money's worth. So how do we do that? We just show them that we give them results before they even get on the real consultation for the real premier course. So this should be a version of your full service that hones in on one specific need of the market. For example, I've seen one course where it was like specifically for direct outreach. So how to reach out to people on LinkedIn or on Facebook. That was all it covered, and it was just very detailed on that. So the prices for these automated entry-level offers should be between $200 and $1,000. Depending on, it can be more. It just really depends on your business and where you're at. If your premier course is like $2,000, it probably wouldn't make sense to have this automated thing be like $4,000 or more expensive. But it's really up to you and your business. I personally am a sucker for the $397 and the $697 price points. I actually bought a $397 course last Saturday and a $697 course last Saturday as well. I don't know. That's just for me. That just feels just like such an easy number that I just, if I see that number, I'm going to buy more than likely. Okay, cool. So that just works for me. But again, you can have between 200 and 1,000. You can even have it up to 10,000. Just really depends. I've seen some people like the really, really, really big guys who are charging like 10. They charge like 40,000 for some of their private groups. They're charging like 10,000 for their entry level offer. It just really depends on what they have. So now, step number 9, you got to be able to validate these leads better. So you need to make it slightly harder to get on the phone with you. So we only want serious prospects, buyers who are in heat, who know they need your service. If they're kind of on the fence and they don't really know, well, I mean, that's why we have this like entry level offer, the $500 course, right? Because it's like, okay, cool. So you see this price. If you can't afford the $500, you probably are not in, or you're probably not going to be looking forward to spending over $1,000 with us, right? So this kind of helps us kind of eliminate these different people. And then also it helps you to not have to deal with like looky-loos or people who are just collecting information. I'm not saying those are bad. That's why I kind of have all these free videos, because if somebody wants to just look, I'd rather them look at all my videos and get everything they need rather than call me on the phone. We speak for an hour. I build all these blueprints for them. I show them exactly what they need to do. And they go, okay, cool. See ya. And then you go back to your Facebook Lives, and guess who the first people to tune into the Facebook Lives are? They're generally the people you talked on the phone with and spent the 1 hour with, which is not a bad thing because they may buy eventually, maybe they won't. Some people just like free stuff. So what some people do to make sure they're getting valid leads is they start charging a small deposit to get on the phone with them. This can be seen as a little bit bad because they're like, I want to do a free consultation. But it does pay to test. If your conversion rate actually goes up as a result of making it harder to get on the phone. For example, so if you right now you're doing a free consultation and it takes you make a sale one out of every 10 consultations you give, and then you try something different, like you make them pay $10 to get on the phone with you, and your conversion goes to like 1 out of every 2 because you're only getting 2 phone calls, but these guys are so high quality that you're doing like out of every 2. Okay, cool. Now we're in business. Now we can start doing some advertising. Now we can start going to the moon because you know your conversion rate's like 50% or above. That is amazing. So even though you're not getting 9 different consultations, you're getting 2, but those 2 are high quality, and it's saving your time, and it's saving your energy, and it's making your conversion rate go better, and you start to feel even better about your sales skills, and you just start going up and up and up. Also, it's very important to understand there is no 100% close rate, but you can always be more selective with who you allow on the call. I'm starting to meet a lot more coaches who are like at an 80% close rate because they make it extremely hard to get on the phone. One lady I was researching, her consult, she has not called them consultations. Hers is, you need to know that you want to work with us. So there is like a 20 question quiz that she has on her website. And it's like, okay, so when you hit apply, it's like boom, 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 boom. And these are not like 20 multiple choice. These are like 20 like paragraphs. And her team goes through and reads them. And then after they approve that these things are answered correctly and that they're to their liking, then they say, okay, cool, let's reach out and schedule a date with this person. And they've gotten it up to about 80% close rate as a result of that. So they are extremely selective. I'm not saying that you need to be that selective, especially when you're a one-man team and you're just trying to get your volume more consistently, but that would be the goal depending on what your vision is. So if you're trying to get to like say 10,000 a month, that may be a little bit extreme. But if you're trying to get like $100,000 in sales per month, your time becomes a lot more valuable and the actions you take are a lot different. Step 10, so you got to be able to baseline your sales process. In the future, you may want to pass the sales calls to an assistant or a sales specialist. In order to do this, you need to record your calls and or write down your sales steps. So that doesn't mean that you have to have an ideal sales script, as most of the time when I'm talking to a client, they each ask different questions because different aspects of my offer appeals to different people. So some people want more sales training. Some people want to know how to make their outreach more efficient. Some people want to know how to track better. Various things. So each time I kind of do my sales presentation, I have to answer their questions based on what they find important to them. So I can't just have like a straight script because each call is slightly different as far as the presentation is concerned. But I generally go down the same set of steps in order to do that. If you would like to learn more about sales consultation steps, we can talk about that if you want to schedule a consultation call or even reach out to me in the chat below or in whichever platform you're seeing this on. So now you need to review your successful calls, and by reviewing your successful calls, you're going to start to hone in on exactly what it looks like or sounds like when a client is considering purchasing from you. So the next time you get on the phone, you're like, okay, this person sounds just like the last 5 guys who purchased from me. I think that this guy is more of a buyer. Like, cool. So this person said this. That's similar to what this guy said. This guy's a buyer. Okay, cool. And this guy, okay, he's experiencing this problem. Well, my last 5 clients had this problem. He's a buyer. It's going to just help you get rid of that fear of getting lucky because you're studying, now you're practicing, now you're getting everything ready, now you're prepared, now you're confident, now you're starting to get more and more success, and now you're locked in, now you're professional, now you're consistent. And that's really how you can do it. Then once you're consistent and once you're professional, you can teach somebody else how to do it. So now you can expand the number of calls that you get, and you can make somebody else a professional too. So now you have 2 sales professionals in your company, and you're getting so many leads because you're consistent now, and you're just ready to go. So now the only problem you're going to have is how do you systemize even further, and how do you manage all these clients that you're now able to sell. So now more info. Do you want us to help you implement these steps so you can control your business? So we help you by removing the chaos and streamlining your programs. The program goal of vertical domination is to reduce stress and overwhelm. We're helping you consistently bring in new business and reduce the amount of moving pieces in your business. So what's the next step? Please send a private message and we can schedule a discovery call. On the call, we can discuss your plan of action. This chat has no obligation. There'll be no sales pressure. Frankly, I don't really know how to do sales pressure. I'm not trained in sales. I'm more of a consultant and coach. That's more of my background. So to schedule a call, you can just please reach out to me to schedule, or you can click the link below at brycetubbsimc.as.me/free strategy session. And we can take moving forward to the next steps of how to get your business more consistent and how to make your business and your life chaos-free. Thank you. Hopefully you got something out of this, and I can't wait to see you on the next video and speak to you real soon. Stop thinking about it. Let's do it. You know you want to. It's only a matter of time, so you might as well just get it over today and just schedule the free strategy session. Or you can go to my website, which is insightmarketingco.com, and get some of our free guides and just learn a little bit more about me and exactly what our company stands for and exactly who we help and how we've helped some of our clients in the past. Thank you. Have a great day, and let's get going. I'll see you later.